So if you're in tech making six figures and you're trying to get past 200, 300, 400K, this video is for you. If you're not at that level, if you're not at 100K, if you're not at six figures, please click off this video. This video is not for you. Okay, go ahead and click off. I'll wait. Cool, let's get to it. So this is the reason why you are stuck where you're at. Okay, I'm gonna share with you what happened with me. I'm going to share with you, how I got to 300K, 500K, okay? And then there's going to be, I'm going to put my Instagram in the link so you can go on the highlights. You'll see where it says about me. You'll see all my offer letters. You'll see the actual bank, like the number, the paychecks that came into my bank, right? It's $25,000 a month. And I'm going to share with you exactly how I got. So $25,000 a month is $500,000 a year after tax in the state of Maryland. And so I'm going to share with you exactly how I did that. But before, look at these views. Like, this is amazing. I'm in Miami right now, right? We have the Miami Heat Center right there. And this is, it's just amazing. It's amazing to actually be able to travel, have that location freedom. And I'm going to share with you exactly how I was able to build the life that I have today, right? And it's not rocket science. It's just a lot of bad advice out there. I fell victim to it. I was stuck, actually driving Uber Eats at 2 a.m. in the morning. That's my story, making $10 an hour with a college degree with certifications. So how am I able to go from that all the way to $500,000 a year? If you don't know already, I retired my 9-to-5 August 8th, 2025, and I was able to do that with increasing my income, my earning potential per month to $25,000 a month, and I was able to invest that money. I invested 95% of my money, right? Even when I was making that money, 500K a year, 25K a month after tax, I was still living with my parents. I didn't actually, buy the Porsche that I have on my Instagram, right? I didn't buy my house that I have, right? I was able to, look at the long term, and I was always, laser focused. Even right now, right, I'm building generational wealth, okay? And so now, this is what is wrong. This is what's holding you back. The thing that held me back was I thought I needed to actually get certifications. I thought that I needed, the credentials, okay? The real credentials that makes the difference, that equals dollars into your bank account, is building projects. That's half of the battle. What do I mean? Not only are you supposed to build projects that's relevant in the current market, right? If you go to google.com and type in AWS Cloud Engineer, remote jobs, and then cloud migration, right? You'll see a bunch of jobs, right? That came out today, yesterday, right? It's relevant. They need people that understand how to go from A to Z for cloud migration. How are you able to migrate databases and applications from on-prem to AWS? Okay, are you doing, what type of strategy are you using? Lift and shift, right? There's different strategies out there, but that's just an example. Are you able to containerize applications? Are you able to run CI/CD pipelines? You can use Jenkins, that's one software. You can use GitHub Actions. You can use GitLab CI, right? These are just different softwares, different tools that you can use for CI/CD pipelines. But it's just to say, these are projects. These are things that you are able to do that can actually solve problems that businesses have, okay? So, for example, I'm going to turn the screen and I'm going to show you this building, right? In this building, there are computers here. There is, infrastructure here, okay? Within this building, I'm pretty sure there is a computer there, okay? Obviously, there is networking there. There is, right? There's all these infrastructure, this IT infrastructure that needs to be built, that needs to be managed, right? And that needs to be maintained. Okay, you can go the old route, which is on-prem, having servers in the building, right? They have applications there too as well. Applications that stores all the, so that's an apartment building, all the clients there, right? Where are you hosting that data at, right? Are you hosting it on-prem on a server, or are you being more flexible using that in AWS? That's just a cloud provider. being able to go in these companies. Here's the kicker. This is the thing that's going to make the difference. You need to be able to understand the problem. Okay, problem. Write that down. You need to understand the problem that companies have. Okay, this is business 101. If you understand this, you will always make money, regardless if cloud engineering dies down, which is not going to happen. It's not only growing, but also even with AI. It's the reason why I love cloud engineering. AI lives in cloud. AI lives on cloud infrastructure. It lives on servers, right? So they need more cloud engineers to manage that. I didn't know if you knew that. You should, if you're in IT. But nonetheless, you need to be able to understand businesses' problems. If you understand their problems and understand how to solve them, right, with projects, those two combo is what is going to, that is your credentials. Having a college degree, having certifications, it does not tell any employer that you can do their job. You can solve their problems. It just tells them that you were able to study and pass a test. But when they say, hey, tell me, how are you going to automate building infrastructure, right? Like a server, VPC, right? Security groups, networking, right? Public, private subnet inside AWS. Tell me how you're able to automate that using Terraform or any IAC tool, CloudFormation. And if you're like, hey, I don't even know what Terraform is, or like, I know what it is, but I never built anything with it, I mean, that could be a problem, right? Because if somebody has a problem and they need you to solve it, to build things, to implement things, saying, hey, I know that Terraform is an infrastructure as code tool, is not going to solve the problem, okay? You need to go from A to Z to create something, okay? And so what I want to say is I see a lot of people struggling. A lot of people come to me in my program, and even cloud engineers, right? And they're like, hey, I just got fired and I can't get a job. Cloud engineers, they don't even have a system to consistently have recruiters to reach out to you. Okay, that's what we have here, right? How are you able to consistently have recruiters to reach out to you? So when I say that building projects, solving the problems, understanding the problems, and then being able to solve it is half the battle, because now you put that on your resume, that shows that you're technically capable, right? But now, how do you market yourself? How do you get recruiters to reach out to you? How are you able to communicate the technical value that you just obtained from the projects? For example, yes, I was able to migrate databases and applications from on-prem to AWS. It was my role and my responsibility to design a highly available, cost-effective, secured architecture in AWS, and I used Terraform to automatically build out that infrastructure, right? In my main.tf file, I have my EC2, I have my VPC, I have my public subnet, private subnet, application load balancer to distribute the traffic. You see how I'm able to communicate the technical value? Most people don't know how to do that, right? And you need to be able to communicate, right, certain qualities that hiring managers look for. I know this because I interviewed 5 of them at 5 different companies that hired me. Right? I always interview people that hired me, like, hey, why did you hire me? And they all say the same thing. They look for 5 different character traits, like 4 people, okay? I'll give you one of them for free, right? Are you coachable? Right? Are you eager to learn? Right? You need to be able to communicate that without saying, hey, I'm coachable, I'm eager to learn. That's like, right? And so, once you actually do the projects, how are you able to, once you understand how to understand the problems that businesses have that a cloud engineer can solve, and you've built those solutions to solve those problems, how are you able to market yourself, right? Stand out in the marketplace to have recruiters to reach out to you. Okay, a bunch of my students, they've gone through this process. They've gone through the step-by-step blueprint. You can go on my YouTube channel. I'll actually put the link in the description below for just different testimonials so you can see their experience, right? And, people are doing $300K, $400K, $500K. Chris, he just collected $866,000 in offer letters, okay, in 4 months. Doesn't mean that he's making that because he declined some of them, right? But his goal is $1 million a year. But he's able to do that because he has recruiters coming to him, and he understands how to position himself as one of the top candidates on any job interview. Okay? If you are interested in knowing that, because this is a skill set, if you're interested in actually learning the skill, right, There's going to be a link in the description below. Go ahead and click the link, right? We don't accept just anybody. We're very selective on who we choose, but we just choose somebody that's more than likely going to actually get the results, right? Who's committed, who's willing to put in the time and energy into the program. Okay, and so you're gonna see the different. I'm gonna put the playlist. It's gonna be the first link is gonna be the link to book for the program, and then you'll see my Instagram, so you can see, just a bunch of different offer letters from students, and even my offer letters. Mine's is the one that says about me. You'll see my the money coming in my bank. You'll see all my offer letters. You'll see the whole 9 yards. And then I'm going to leave a YouTube playlist for all of the, not even all, but some of the students that's been successful. And so you'll be able to see from their experience how they're able to go from 0 to 300K, 400K, even 500K plus. So if you're interested, once again, in this program, go ahead and click the first link in the description below. And before we end the video, I want to show, I really want to emphasize this. Most people, they're just stuck because they're going down the wrong system. There is a step-by-step system that gets you results, and a lot of the advice that I see online is just a bunch of BS, right? And I know that because I've listened to it, right? I went to school, I got my college degree, I got my certifications, and I was still stuck. It wasn't until I understand this new system, understanding the problems that businesses have, understanding as a cloud engineer how I'm able to solve it, and then understanding how to attract recruiters to me, because applying to jobs, it sucks. It's the worst advice anybody can give you in any other program or boot camp, whatever the case. That is the worst advice. Applying for jobs has a 2 to 3% conversion rate to an offer letter. There are 5 ways of actually getting an offer letter. I know this because I invested 5 figures inside a recruiter that had a business teaching people like me how to actually get offers. Right, and he worked at Meta, he worked at Netflix, he has 25 years of experience, and he taught me all this stuff. There's 5 ways of getting an offer letter. Most people only know about the first way, okay? The other methods, I teach that in my program, okay? And it's instead of applying to jobs, how do you get recruiters to come to you? They even treat you differently, okay? Right? They want you to get the offer. They say, hey, go ahead and study this, X, Y, and Z. They check up on you. How did it go? It's just a whole, it's night and day. Right? Instead of applying to jobs and struggling to get a recruiter on the phone, right? That used to be me. And so listening to all these advice that does not work, you need to leave that in the past and understand a new system that does work. Once again, if you are interested in the program, click the first link in the description below to apply. And we'll reach out to you and see how it goes. But nonetheless, you really just need to understand there are systems that doesn't work. You're probably following that system and you're probably not seeing results. And then there's a system that does work, okay? Right? Once you're at 6 figures right now, but you want to job stack. How do you job stack ethically and legally? How are you able to scale to $500,000 a year? Okay? That is a system in itself. And so, once again, understand the problem, solve it with projects, the solution to the problem, understand how to have recruiters, how to market yourself, how to put those projects on your resume in the way that attracts people, and then also how to brand yourself to have recruiters to reach out to you again. And then how do you communicate effectively on any job interview that positions yourself as an authority and positions you in a way that puts you as one of the top candidates on any job interview, because you understand what they're looking for. You understand their problem. And the only thing that you're saying on the interview is the solution to their problem. I'll see you in the next video.